So here's what's going on. Wilson Viaduct under Lakeshore Drive and Lawrence Viaduct under Lakeshore Drive have been home to at least 60 to 80 different people the last few years who are homeless for various reasons. Each story's different. They have a legal right to be on the sidewalks through the Bryant Agreement, which was settled a few years back by Chicago Coalition for the Homeless. These infrastructures are falling apart and need repair. So they were going to boot all the people out, which makes sense. They need to work on this overpass. The problem is that the people have no place to go. Many have been trying to get housing. Again, the stories are varied, completely different, and complicated. So they were threatening to just kick everybody out. And the problem is that we have these nice parks all around, and they don't allow people to stay in the parks after 11 p.m. So after 11, sometimes 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, they would get harassed. So we finally got them set up under the viaducts and supported them with legal knowledge of what their rights were, and we would come down and check on things and make sure they weren't being harassed by police or by the park district or by the garbage workers who were throwing garbage away, different things like that. So what's happened is that we were able to take them to court, and we were going to try to fight for either give them a place to stay or figure out a place where they can be legally, or don't just kick them out. The problem is people have to actually exist somewhere. People have to exist. They can't just not be somewhere. And if someone's homeless, people don't want them to be around, and they don't like how they look. They don't want poor people. So the police come in and will harass them or, make life difficult. Gotta move. So they kick them out, move them. They're sleeping on a park bench. Oh, you can't stay there. Sleeping on a bus stop bench. Oh, you can't be here. Move. If homeless folks didn't have to sleep, then they could just walk around 24 hours a day and it would be no problem. Humans need sleep. And these are people that have rights, and they, regardless of what their individual stories are, whether it's their own horrible choices or circumstances, loss of jobs, disabilities, mental illness, regardless of what those problems are, they're people. And rather than just pushing and harassing and getting people out of sight, what we need is real solutions. There are creative solutions if anyone would just stop and think outside the box. There are empty lots everywhere. We could do tiny house communities. We could do even just start with a tent city on a piece of land somewhere, and put a bunch of shrubs around it, and let people be, So today, yesterday we moved everybody. Backtrack. Last Thursday there was court date. Friday the decision came down that everybody had to move by Monday. So we helped everyone move yesterday for 4 or 5 hours from Lawrence and Wilson from under the viaducts. And we moved them right to this little strip of land. This little strip of land between the sidewalk and the street is public way. On this side of the sidewalk, over here, is Park District. So the thought is that they can legally be there on the public way, and they are not obstructing the sidewalk. And so we moved them for their own survival, and we didn't want them to be woke up at 6 in the morning and have all their stuff thrown away. And it was a movement for that, and it was also a movement as a protest, that people have a right to live. There's a lady in a wheelchair. There's a man with only one leg who lost his leg when he was 17 years old, who was shot in the leg by a police officer, of all things. He's 60 now. He actually has done really well in his life, and then some things went bad. And those are just two short stories. I barely even know all the details. But these are people. So we got this little strip of land here. We got everybody moved in as best we could. Then it overflowed even to over there, and we're not so certain that that's public way over there under the trees. That's between the bike or the walking path in the street, but it's not really a sidewalk. It's different. This morning, the police came and threatened to move everybody. They were saying that you can't be there. They were trying to say that once we secure the viaducts, which no one's under the viaducts now, and they've got fences up, we're going to come and just start moving everybody out. I don't know where these people would go. I don't know what they would do. Now, they gave them options to stay at some shelters. One is Pacific Garden Mission. Pacific Garden Mission is clear on the near west side. These folks don't know anybody there. Pacific Garden Mission requires that you go to their Bible studies and attend that if you're going to stay there. They require that you leave for 8 hours each day, and they don't let you store your stuff there. I don't know about you guys, but that doesn't sound like a great situation. I don't have any place to keep my stuff. I have to go somewhere for 8 hours a day. It's winter coming on, you know? That's not a solution. And you don't get sleep at a shelter either. Shelters are not these restful homes. They're not a happy place. They're a temporary Band-Aid until someone can get permanent housing. Why don't these people have permanent housing? Again, so many different reasons. But a cheap studio is at least $1,000 a month or $1,200 a month. And if you don't have a job, your government assistance isn't going to cover that. And that's just that. That's not food. It's not clothes. It's not medical. Not transportation. Obviously, these folks don't have cars, so they'd have to use public transportation. It's very pricey these days. So, where was I going with all of this? We're here today to support them. We have several lawyers who have been involved with Uptown Tent City for a few years now, and they are here to stand up for their legal rights to at least be on this property. And we are hoping, okay, here's a dumpster. A garbage can. I hope that they don't start trying to throw people's stuff away. Hopefully that's just for over there. But forgot what I was trying to say. You can see way over under the trees there's a couple police. There's a couple police near right by the entrance ramp. Then there's 3 across the street, 3 over here, a couple there, and even one way up there, because they're afraid we're going to try to get out on Lakeshore Drive and cause a disruption. We're not trying to disrupt. We're trying to simply allow these people a place to stay, a place to live until they can get back on their feet. We need affordable housing for people. We need mental health assistance. Governor Rauner took all that away. There is just a lot of things, a lot of stories, a lot of reasons why things are the way they are. Why are they homeless? That's the question they ask, I can't remember the quote, but when I helped the homeless, I was a saint. But when I asked why are they homeless, they called me a communist. Can't remember who said that, but it's true. Why are there these homeless people? We have empty lots all over the place. We've got some park property. We've got empty buildings. There's a school that closed down, and instead of making it into a place where people could stay affordably, they turned it into a development and sold it for $5 million to some developer who's going to make it into some expensive condos. And there you go. More rich folks coming in with no regard for the poor. It's our duty to care for poor people. We need to care for humanity. That's the bottom line. It's not any of us could be in this situation. I mean, come on, look at Houston, look at Irma down in Florida. You aren't above anything. You can have all the security in the world and lose it to a natural disaster or to health issues. It happens. And I've seen it in my own family. We're one step away from being out here. And I'll tell you, if I was out here, I would want someone to help me. If my kids were out here, it goes to the parable of the Good Samaritan, Help your neighbor. Do as you want people to do to you. It's not that difficult. So why is there these problems? Why are police here? Well, these are not criminals. These people are nice. You get to know them very quickly and easily, and they care about each other. Why are there police? It's because it's muscle for machines. It's muscle for supporting an agenda of development, and they use words that sound nice, progress, development. But what it is it's certain people will be able to get some money. Certain people who have contributed to campaigns get some special favors, and they might even be legal. It's not necessarily illegal favors. But why do people who have money get to have more influence? Think about it. When we learned in school about property owners could vote. Why? I remember thinking, property owner doesn't make you a better person. Well, it's the same thing today. Money doesn't make you a better person. And yet, they're the ones that have a voice because they can pay off a politician, or not pay off. They can contribute to a campaign, and they then will try to do what that person wants because it's better for them. So now a small percentage of people have benefits and a voice and power that the majority of the people don't have. How is that right? It's not right. So here we are. We're out here today. I was on my way to school with my son, Drexel, and he heard about what was happening and got so mad, and he was like, "Dad, I want to go down and help." So he's down here somewhere, and we're just standing by. I don't know what's going to happen if they tell everybody they have to move. We were down here for 4 or 5 hours, and Drexel, I'm over here. There he is right there, probably wondering where I am. We were down here helping people for 4 or 5 hours to move, 200 feet. If they tell everybody they got to leave, they can't. I don't know what they're going to do. There's no solutions, So there's a lady in a wheelchair. She's homeless. She's down here. Her name's Carol, and they're going to harass her. I don't have much else to say. But that's what's happening.